22nd of November.
Fishing is one of the country's most popular sports, and yet you hardly ever see it on television. That's because nothing much happens. You have to stay still and keep quiet. That's probably why Esther's not much good at it. So we sent her out with a charity called Second Chance, which gives young people, some of whom have been in trouble or have had a tough time at home, a day's fishing. You wouldn't think they'd enjoy it, but they do. So did Esther, especially when she met Rory Bremner by the lake in Hampshire.
Giving them to you, and that is...
They look like cool city dudes in their dark shades, used to walking on the wild side. But of course, the countryside has its hazards too.
If you get it wrong, it'll come back and it can whack you in the face, and we don't want a hook in your eye. It's the weird one. That's not
the boys here have one thing in common. Life hasn't given them a great start. But Doug Hume, an ex-school teacher,
all right then? Yeah. Good.
has found an inspirational way to give boys a second chance, teach them to fly fish.
A lot of them have been kicked out of schools and are in special schools and all sorts of things. They, in their own minds, are failures, let alone what messages they're getting from other people. To succeed at something has really transformed them, almost overnight in some cases.
Doug's charity is called Second Chance. The police and education authorities refer children to the project.
Definitely lies.
It's something bigger than them that they've got to learn to cooperate with. They can't dictate the terms, whereas maybe on the street they can dictate.
Look, this is a kid. He's actually caught one.
Now look at the smile on his face at the same time.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
That's some fish. That's some fish, look. Shaking hands. So what do they say about that moment? Why is it important to them?
Well, I think it's a sense of achievement, as I said before, the success, that they've done something, that they've been in control of, and that they've kind of created this whole thing. And it's perceived as a very skillful exercise. Whether it is or not is debatable, but they feel it is, and that's what it's all about, I think.
And nothing yet.
Also fishing today is Rory Bremner. He's a great supporter of Second Chance.
Get to the fishmonger and not say, because you've got great technique. I was going to say I should do a Jeff Boycott, say, well, it's good technique, is it, right? But it's not working yet. You're about an hour and a half. You've got a hook on the end, have you? Yeah. You have checked? Yeah. OK. Well, it's just the fish being stroppy then. I mean, ironically, what little I know about fishing, which is very, very... I mean, what I know about fishing, you could write on a trout's ear, I think. Do trouts have ears? I don't know.
Rory's in good company. Other supporters include Chris Tarrant.
He loves
Can't phone a friend.
Yeah. Which of these flies would you use to catch fish? Is it A? No, he fell out of a tree. He broke a leg last year of fishing. Nobody believed that he actually could break a leg or an arm, because it's not actually normally thought of as a contact sport.
No, and you don't normally fish in a tree, do you?
No. Well, on this occasion he did, when Tarrant would do anything.
Does William Hague happen to be a fisherman?
William, I know, he's a very keen sportsman and keen on the country. And I think he would thoroughly approve of the work we've been doing here, although there's a few more slippery characters at Westminster than you find in this pond.
Maybe Ken Livingstone could come down here.
It's turning into new faces. Well, Ken, he'd be out there with a salamander. My contribution to fishing is minute, but he's not here today.
The boys on the riverbanks were proving such a success at fly fishing.
Is this the first time you've caught one?
Yeah.
Right.
That I was beginning to feel inadequate. Okay. I'm going to catch something today. Though it die in the attempt, I am going to catch something today.
That needs to be kind of stay rigid there. While it's in the air, we let a little bit out each time.
Oh, you're making it so easy.
It's years of practice.
Bing. And then I'm...
That's it, you're a little bit slow on the out and forward. The Queen Mother is an excellent fisherman.
Right, I think Queen Mum. It gives me great pleasure. I'll never get me Danewood now, will I? Or a fish at this rate. But many of the boys don't just catch a fish or two. They've actually changed the whole course of their lives. Shane's dyslexic. He was abused as a child. When he first met Doug, he was on a downward spiral. Now he comes to help the younger boys fish.
In crime, I was good at it. I was something that I was good at, so that's why I kept on going. I kept on going because I thought, well, you know, I'm good at this. Everybody's saying, well, you know, good job, mate, and stuff like that. And I was getting appreciated for it, and I just carried on doing it. But I knew in my mind it was wrong.
And this has replaced that for you?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I'll take your rod from you.
I'd like to say hello to everyone, even the nice fishes in the water.
You might think that tearaway kids would prefer to do something a bit more exciting.
There's something about being, you know, within the great outdoors and to actually have a live thing in their hands and everything seems to beat the computer and the television hands down. I think it's reality really for them.
It's really not about numbers, this charity, it's about individuals. And he always says he'd much rather spend 3 years working with one child and really, you know, bringing that kid out than to judge it by numbers. I know Blair's always saying, you know, you've got to have targets. And, you know, if we can get, you know, 700 kids through this week, then, you know, that'd be great. But it's not about that.
I'd probably be inside all dead. Definitely. If it wasn't for Doug and the charity, then I wouldn't be standing here really.
Fly fishing was clearly making a big impact on the boys. I was about to lose all hope of catching anything. But then... beginner's luck, eh?
Well, I'm amazed. I'll get the landing net.
Right. It's heavy, look!
Well, there we go. I have to say, Esther, I've never seen one quite like that in this lake.
Well, I wasn't very impressed with your rather underhand tactics there.
I thought I got away with it rather well. You wouldn't have...
Proud. That was excellent, quite excellent.
Thank you very much indeed. And we took it home and ate it. No, we didn't. Well, would we? I didn't know where it had been. Anyway, it brings us to the end of the programme for this week. Next week, we've got Wendy Richard and Bob Wilson. Please join us then. Till then, from everyone here, fishermen and non-fishermen, goodbye.
Goodbye.